I get a cash and I flip it, yeah. I get a cash and I flip it.
I'm on a roll today, so hello to all of my cherry bombs. If I'm new to you, please go ahead and hit subscribe. If this is not your first time here, go ahead and give this a thumbs up because you already know that you're probably gonna like this video because y'all are here because you fuck with me and I fuck with you. And we're gonna get right into this video, and I'm gonna tell you guys how I feel about certain signs in the zodiacs, because I thought this was a cool idea. I've seen this kind of trending on YouTube, and I figured, well, why not give my little 2 cents, because I feel like I have some interesting views on some of the zodiac signs. So anyway, so I'm going to start this video by saying I am a Sagittarius sun, so hello to all my Sagittariuses. I am a Leo rising and a Capricorn moon, so I got a lot of shit going on. So I'm going to start with, I guess, like a random sign. So Capricorns. So I'm a Capricorn moon. I did not really get into the whole spectrum of my chart until recently, like within like the last 6 months. So I'm still learning a lot about Capricorns. I've never encountered anybody who was a Capricorn sun like that. Well, when I say encountered, I'm sure I have, but I've never like had a relationship with anybody who was a Capricorn sun, whether that be as a friend, partner, anything like that. So I can't really speak on Capricorns. What I can say, what I noticed from being a Capricorn moon, is I feel like Capricorns are pretty reserved, and they're very, I guess, like kind of inside themselves to a degree. Like they're very reserved and inside themselves, but also very obsessive to a degree. I feel like because you see my Capricorn side first, I can come off like, it really just depends on how I'm feeling that day, but sometimes I feel like I can come off reserved, or I can come off like I'm like this, when in reality, once you meet me, I'm literally like this. I can come off as shy. Like I'm not shy at all, but I can come off as shy depending on the setting. So that's what I'll say about Capricorns. Now, as for my Sagittarius side, what I will say about Sagittarius is, and again, this is just my perspective of everything. I'm not about to like, if I miss some things, like just know that I'm not saying like this is all that they are. I'm just saying that these are some of the main qualities that I notice in myself as a Sagittarius. I think my Capricorn balances me out and keeps me like ambitious and keeps me like, you need to focus. But my Sagittarius side is just very like, when I say I'm the most go with the flow person you will ever meet, I'm not big on making plans. I'm very big on just literally seeing what happens. Like I don't need to know 10 days out what I'm doing. I'm one of those people, like, now granted, you can't hit me up 2 hours before the function because I need to do my makeup, I need to do my hair, I need to do all that. So I'm not like that go with the flow to where it's like, oh, like I can just hit her up in 2 hours and she'll be ready to go. No. But if my hair and makeup is already done, then yeah, you can hit me up 2 hours, an hour, 30 minutes before the function, and I'm pretty likely to be like, yeah, hell yeah, fuck it, let's do it, let's go. So yeah, I'm very free flowing. I don't care about a lot of things, which could be a blessing and a curse. I just feel like I just have a very, like, it is what it is. Like, it takes a lot to bother me. It takes a lot to make me mad. It takes a lot to, like, once I'm there, and I turn the fuck up, and it can get ugly, but it's very rare just because I just don't have a lot of triggers. I don't have a lot of things that piss me off. Like, I'm very hard to make mad. I'm very emotional. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very emotional as fuck, but it's just hard to make me mad per se, like, because I just feel like I don't really care that much. Like, I'm not that invested. So I will say that's one thing about Sagittarius is we're just very easygoing, very indecisive. One minute I might be heart and soul interested in one thing, and the next minute it'll be a completely different thing. And I'm one of those people, like, once I'm interested in something, I am wholeheartedly putting my all into it. I'm very like, this is my thing, this is it. But then, like, at the snap of a finger, if I find something else that I'm just as interested in, then 100% of my energy is then going into that, and the other thing is just dropped off. Now, I will say I finally found the one thing that stays consistent, which has been makeup and nails. Like anything cosmetics has been the one thing that I have not dropped off and lost focus or lost interest or anything. But everything else, I'm more so like I'll do it and be hell-bent on doing it for maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months, maybe it's 6 months to a year. And then once I drop off, it's like there's no going back. I just lose interest. I'm like that with romance too. Like literally, Sagittariuses, we live for adventure, we live for new things, we get bored very easily. So when it comes to romance, like once I've finished with somebody, like no matter how much I loved them or no matter how much the breakup hurt or anything, once I am over them, there is no going back. I've never had somebody where it was like, oh, I want to go back, like I want to go back, like never. Like it's always been like once I'm over you, there's no going back. And I mean completely over you. I don't mean like in the trying to get over you phase, because in the trying to get over you phase, you could look up, like really. But once I'm over you, there's no going back, because to me in my head it's boring at that point. It's like I already did that, like that's boring. I want to do something new, so I want to try someone new. And because of that, like I'm not one of those people that repeat exes and go back to exes and be going back to fuck exes. Like I'm one of those people that be like, baby gotta find new dick. Like I'm not one of the people that be like, oh, like let me go back to this person because I'd rather do a repeat than catch another body. Baby girl, we grown. If I want to catch another one, I'm gonna just catch another one. Like, oh well. Yeah, I will say that's one thing about being a Sagittarius. And I can't really speak for Sagittarius men. I always hear that they're trash and that they're cheaters and they're liars and all this other stuff. Don't know. I've never dated a Sagittarius man, never really had like a friendship or anything with a Sagittarius man, so I have no idea. But Sagittarius females, like I feel like we're cool as fuck. Like I love us. And now that I say that, honestly, I don't feel like Nikki acts like a Sagittarius at the fuck all. I don't feel like she acts like a Sagittarius at all. I feel like Rihanna embodies what it is to be a Sagittarius, even though she's a Pisces. I feel like Rihanna is Sagittarius as fuck. Like her whole attitude is literally me. If you took Rihanna and Cardi B and combined their like demeanors and attitudes and like how they like just go about life, that's me. Like literally. Leos. What I'll say about Leos, I realize, and I've heard this from many other people as well, Leos are attention seekers. They really love attention. They need attention. They crave it. And I normally do not gravitate towards people like that because it's very draining and it gets on my nerves. And I just, it really gets on my nerves. But I've met cool Leos. Like I'm not saying Leos aren't cool. Like they're, I don't have any problems with Leos. It's just that that attention seeking personality can be draining. They're very dramatic. Everything is very, very over the top. Like when a Leo blows up, they want to make a scene. They need everybody to know that they are just so upset or so mad or whatever the case may be. When they're happy, and say they walk in a function, it has to be like all eyes on me. Like look at me, look at me, look at me. So yes, I would say I normally don't get along with Leos off bat, just because, again, like I'm not really like that. I'm more of like relaxed and chill, and I let people just gravitate where they're going to gravitate towards. If they gravitate towards me, cool. If they don't, cool. I'm not about to do the most to try and get their attention. So I don't really normally like attention seeking personalities ever, really. Like that's just not my thing. But I can't say the Leo that I know, like she's cool as fuck. So yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about Leos. They just need a lot of attention. They require a lot of care. They can be pretty freaking emotional as well. And they're also very dominant. Like Leos are very dominant, and I think that's another reason why at first, like my first encounter with Leos, it's kind of shaky, because as a Sagittarius, like I feel like we are in this category where it's like, when you're filling out job applications and they're like, oh, are you a leader or a follower? I've never liked that question because I'm neither. I don't want to lead because I don't want people up under me. I don't want to be trying to tell you what to do. I don't need all that. I don't need that. But I'm also not a follower because I don't want you telling me what the fuck to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm in control of me. You can be in control of you. Don't come over here trying to think you finna run this. You're not driving this boat, okay? I drive the boat. When it comes to me, I drive the boat. So I really dislike when people try to dominate me, like almost like how dogs do, like when dogs are trying to dominate other dogs so that you know, like, oh, who's boss. I feel like Leos kind of do that in a way to people when they first meet them and just in general, and I don't be liking that shit. But if you really work with Leos, I feel like you can get past that. Geminis to me are very emotional. I don't know a lot of Geminis in depth, or no, actually no, I do know Geminis in depth. Okay, Geminis to me are very emotional. I feel like they're very flip-floppy when it comes to their emotions. They're literally like night and day, and I feel like their mood swings are very unpredictable. That's what I would say about Geminis. I feel like their mood swings are very unpredictable, and you have to, I feel like it takes a certain type of person to deal with a Gemini in a relationship. I've never been in a relationship with a Gemini. I've had Gemini friends though, and even just being a friend to a Gemini, I feel like it's a lot of emotional work, just because one second they might be up in the clouds so happy, just like la-di-da, and the next second it's just like it's like a switch, and once that switch goes off, it's like they're very, I feel like they almost, whatever they feel, they want everybody around them to feel. So it's like if they feel happy, they want everybody around them to feel happy. But if they feel mad, they want everybody to feel mad with them. It's like everybody has to feel my anger. Everybody has to feel my, like, whatever negative feeling it is. It's like I want everybody to feel this. I don't want anybody else to have a good time because I'm not having a good time. So I want all you guys to feel this. I feel like that's what I've gotten out of Geminis. Again, I have Gemini friends, but it's just, that's what I've gotten out of them. It's like they're really cool people. I feel like they're very I don't know if I would say loyal. Maybe they are, but I don't know if I would say loyal even, because I feel like Gemini's kind of like to run their mouths, I feel like, or at least the ones I've encountered. Everybody's different, because I feel like really everybody, like nobody can be like, oh, like all signs are this one way, because it really depends on your whole entire chart, not just your sun sign. But I feel like the ones that I've met, like they were very chatty when it came to other people's business, and so I feel like you can't really always trust Gemini with your business. Taurus, I feel like I don't know a whole lot of Tauruses outside of my dad is a Taurus, and my old manager at Mac that I had all those issues with was a Taurus. I feel like Tauruses are very bad at being wrong, and it is like they are so hell-bent on like, I'm not wrong, you're wrong, get over it. Even if they be dead ass wrong. Always, 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 always very, very stubborn on the possibility of being wrong. Pisces, I really don't know anything about Pisces. I have not had any Pisces friends, not been in relationships with Pisces. Like I said, Rihanna is a Pisces, and I feel like she is the coolest just vibe ever. But I also feel like Rihanna screams Sagittarius to me. Like, she literally screams Sag to me. So I'm really surprised she's a Pisces, but I don't know a lot about Pisces, so I'm gonna skip over that one. Scorpio. Okay, let me tell you about Scorpios. Anybody who knows me knows that I cannot stand Scorpio men. I will not date Scorpio men. And when I say, like, y'all, like, I'm not even joking, it's to the point where if I find out you're a Scorpio during the talking phase, I will dip. I will cut you off so quick. I will disappear. Like, I'm like that dude that be holding the peace sign and he starts evaporating. That is me. As soon as I find out you're a Scorpio, it's a dub. That is territory I do not want to go down. I love my sanity, and I just refuse to do it to myself. I've done it to myself countless times before, and I learned my lesson every single time. And I just refuse to do it to myself, because the thing about Scorpios is when they're loyal, but getting them to that point where they become loyal, I feel like it's damn near impossible. And I feel like it's impossible because of the fact that Scorpios are notorious for being hoes. Like, they're very sexual. I feel like Scorpios, like, the sex with Scorpios is amazing. Bomb.com. I've never had bad sex with a Scorpio ever. Not ever. But I feel like Scorpios are very manipulative, like very, very manipulative, to the point where Scorpios will manipulate you for sex. They will get you in your head, like they'll baby you, they'll like, you know, they'll spend all this time and invest in like, you know, kind of like making you feel like this is going somewhere, and their end goal is always sex. And once they get it, it's like a light bulb. It's like a challenge. It's like once they get it, they completely lose interest. Like that is what I've gotten out of Scorpios. Like soon as they have sex with you, like they completely dip off, they lose interest, because everything from the moment they meet you to me, from the moment they meet you to the moment they get it, it's about getting it. Everything is about, okay, like she looks attractive, I think I want to stick my dick in her. I'm gonna make sure I baby and coddle her and take her out and romance her so that I can get pussy, and then I'm gonna dip the fuck off. Scorpios are very manipulative when it comes to sex, which always confuses me, because me as a Sagittarius, like, again, you guys, I'm very free-flowing. So, and then I also feel like guys have this misconception that all girls want relationships, and there's some girls out here that really don't. And so for me, when I was dealing with these Scorpios, I did not want a relationship. I just want the peen and you just want the pussy. So it's like, if that's the case, why lie? Like, why do all this extra stuff? Why do all this extra romancing? Why do all this extra, like, why court me in order to just get pussy if we're both on the same page? And I feel like Scorpios is like, I feel like they do a whole lot for no reason. It's like, instead of just saying like, hey, I just want to fuck, I feel like they're very like, oh, well, let me not tell them that, because if I tell them that, they won't want to do it, and I want them to do this, and I need this to be my end result, so let me not say anything, because if I say anything, I'm not going to get what I want. That is what I've gotten out of Scorpio. So I feel like it's very weird, because again, like, a lot of the time, if we're adults, if you just say like, hey, I just want to fuck, you might get a yes. Like, and if you get a no, cool, move on to the next person and just give them the opportunity to make that decision for themselves too, versus putting in all this work and then dipping off. I feel like Scorpios are charmers, and they tend to have a lot of sex appeal. They literally exude sex appeal, and they use that to reel you in, and then once they get what they want, they dip the fuck out. And that is why I literally refuse to deal with Scorpio men. Like, I'm not even joking. People be thinking I'm joking, and I'd be like, I'm like that. I'm gonna insert it. That be me, and I will ha-ha my way right out your life. Libras. I feel like Libras are so charming. I am a magnet for Libras. I don't know what it is. My mom, my aunt, a lot of my friends, a lot of my exes are all Libras. Libras are charmers. I feel like Libras are charmers. Libras are people pleasers, and I feel like everybody likes Libras. Like, I don't know a lot of people that are like, oh, fuck Libra. Like, Libras are just very, like, they're very charming. They're people pleasers, like, almost to a fault, because I feel like sometimes they're like, they want to make everybody happy, and you just can't make everybody happy. But I do feel like Libras are also very, very critical. They're very critical. They're very set in their ways, and if you cannot fit into that space and fit into that space at the expectation that they have, because Libras, like, it's like their expectations will be through the, like, unrealistically through the roof. Honestly, like, unrealistically through the roof is a Libra and their expectations. And if you cannot meet those expectations, they get very frustrated, they get very, very critical, and they can get very, very harsh. Not trying to down Libras, because I love Libras as a sign. I love relationships with Libras, but I do know that about them is they're just very critical. They're very, very critical. I feel like Libras oftentimes have a lot of trouble seeing what they do wrong, and everything is more so what you do wrong and why you just can't be what they want you to be, more so. So I feel like Libras, that would be their downfall. But I feel like they're very loyal. They are, like I said, they're people pleasers. So when you're in a relationship with a Libra, they will do anything to make sure that you feel loved and that you feel like just amazing, and that they are just like, they cater to you. Like, I feel like Libras really cater to your every need. And of course they want that in return, but it's like they want that in return, but they also want you to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, they get very frustrated. Virgos, from my experience, so my best friend is a Virgo. Anybody who knows us knows that it is so funny because we are the complete polar opposites, like complete polar opposites, but we get along so great because when it comes to like our morals and like just our like views on life are very similar. It's just that how we go about handling things is super different. So let me tell you, Virgos are very unemotional. I've seen a lot of things that say, oh, Virgos are boring, Virgos are boring. I don't think Virgos are boring. Like I have 2 friends that I'm very close with who are Virgos, actually 3, and I don't think there's anything boring about Virgos. I think Virgos just take so long to open up that a lot of people do not get to know them outside of that very hard and very just blunt leveled exterior that they give out to people. I don't think a lot of people get to know them further than that because it takes a lot, from what I've seen, for a Virgo to let you in. It literally is like cracking the Morse code. Like Virgos are very closed off. They're very cautious with their feelings, with their emotions. They're very in the case of one of my friends, they can be very unaffectionate, but I feel like that's just her, because other Virgos, I don't necessarily know how they are well, actually, like with my 3 friends, so one of my Virgo friends is very unaffectionate, and the other 2 are like the opposite. So yeah, I wouldn't say that unaffection is like a Virgo thing. I would say definitely emotionally closed off though is a Virgo thing. They have a wall, and that wall is built up so fucking high, and if you are able to scale that wall and make it into like their emotional space, you literally think of it as an accomplishment, and really that means that Virgo thinks very highly of you, because they do not, like, they are very like analytical when it comes to letting people into their space. Like they analyze, they kind of like, it's like they analyze, they take in, and they decide right then and there when they meet you if they want to let you into their space or not. And once they know, they know. And once they know, it's just like, boom, you're not, I don't want you in my space. And they know as soon as they meet you. Virgos are also very ambitious, but I feel like Virgos are very controlling. They have a lot of trouble letting go of that need to be in control. I feel like Virgos are kind of like this when it comes to letting go of the reins. Like they have a lot of issue with letting go of that control. But I feel like Virgos are also very like super ambitious. They get a lot accomplished. They like to be busy. They like to have a lot of things going for themselves. And yeah, I think Virgos are very loyal. Like Virgos are very loyal. And I think people should really give Virgos a chance when it comes to the whole like, oh, they're boring, because honestly, once you get to the other side, once they let you in, Virgos are like cool as fuck. Like I've never like been like, oh, like I've just never met a boring Virgo. So I kind of like when people are like, oh, they're boring, I don't really get it, because I've never met a boring Virgo. It's just, again, just baby, maybe you just don't make the cut for them to let you in their space. Aquarius is, I don't have a whole lot of experience with them either. I mean, I used to be best friends with an Aquarius, but we never like, I guess why I say I don't have a lot of experience with them is because I feel like, now Aquarius is, I feel like they're loyal. They're very loyal. They're very inquisitive and very like, they like to learn a lot. And Libras are like this too. Libras love to learn. Like they love to learn. They need to learn. You have to be challenging their intellect in order for them to feel satisfied. Aquariuses love to learn. And I don't know if you necessarily need to, they crave that like, oh, you need to challenge my intellect. But I think they appreciate it if you do. But I don't think they necessarily need it as much as Libras do. Like Libras need it. Like they need it. Aquariuses, I think they love to learn a lot. I think Aquariuses tend to be, I can't say this for all of them, but I know that the Aquarius I knew was when it came to like spirituality and just being in touch with like the universe, and I don't mean like just reading about it, I mean like literally like in touch with the universe, is what I experienced when I was friends with an Aquarius. Now I do always read, like I always hear stuff where people say Aquariuses are very like harsh at the mouth, like when they're mad at you, like they be saying the type of stuff that like they violate the fuck out of you. And maybe that's why like I've never seen that side of an Aquarius. Like I've never seen that side where I just feel like I got violated like fuck from an Aquarius and like the things that were said to me. So I've never experienced that. But I've also only had really 2 Aquariuses. No, I've had, my brother's an Aquarius. And no, my brother does, like, that's probably one of the only people who we don't argue anymore, but as kids, he always knew exactly what to say to push every single fucking button I had and to get me all the way out of character. So yeah, I could say Aquariuses can be very reckless at the mouth, but at the same time, like, I feel like people kind of hype that up, because I've met other signs that I feel like are way more reckless at the mouth than Aquarius, like, for real. So I don't know, even that friend that I was talking about, like I feel like even when we would have like arguments or disagreements or anything, which was really rare, like we did not argue almost ever. Like we probably had 2 arguments our whole friendship. I don't feel like anything was said that it was like, oh my god, it's no going back from what you said, you know what I mean? Like it was just never anything like that. So I haven't personally experienced the whole Aquarius is being like dumb, crazy, talking out the side of their neck that everybody talks about. What I will say that I have experienced that I've seen a lot of people talk about is the fact that they say Aquariuses don't take accountability for things. I feel like they're very bad at taking accountability for anything that they are at fault for. I feel like in their head it's almost like, well, it had to be you. It couldn't have been me, so it had to be you. So let's get to the bottom of where you felt like you had this situation fucked up, because it couldn't have been me. I feel like Aquariuses are very bad at it's almost like delusional, the point to where, not saying this is what I experienced with that friend, but I'm saying like Aquariuses, like other Aquariuses, I feel like they're almost delusional when it comes to like accepting the part they played in some bullshit. Cancers are very emotional. I have not had any in-depth relationships with Cancers. Cancers are very emotional though, from what I can see from dating someone who had a Cancer best friend. Cancers are very emotional. And actually no, and then I had a friend who dealt with a Cancer as well. So I've had 2 friends that dated Cancers. They're very emotional. And I feel like Cancers honestly are pretty fucking delusional too sometimes. Like I feel like Cancers will literally create the scenario in their head and then just go with it. And then it's no questions asked. They created that scenario. It's just, that is what it is. That shit could have never happened. And once a Cancer feels like it happened in their head, once they've created it, it's like there's no going back. It happened, no matter who tells them otherwise. And then Aries, I've always heard Aries are hotheads, but I've never really met an Aries or had a relationship or anything with an Aries. So I don't really know anything about Aries, and I can't really speak on them. So yeah, you guys, so that is going to be pretty much what sums up like this whole dragging your zodiac sign video. And let me know you all's thoughts on this whole thing. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your experiences with these signs, and I will see you guys in my next video.